CIA detective dies, came back with Jesus' proof and message of afterlife that would shock you. My name is David Cole, and I have near-death experience story to tell you. For over 2 decades, I worked as a CIA investigator, assigned to some of the most classified and high-risk operations. My job was to gather intelligence, uncover secrets, and analyze threats that most people never even knew existed. I was trained to see through deception, to rely on evidence, to trust in logic. I believed in what I could prove. I did not believe in God. I did not believe in an afterlife. I thought that when we die, that's it. No second chances, no paradise, no suffering, just nothing. But then I died, and I had a near-death experience. And what I saw in those moments changed everything I had ever believed. The mission that changed my life forever. It started as a routine assignment, or at least that's what we were led to believe. My team and I were deployed to Eastern Europe, gathering intelligence on a rising threat. We had been tracking a network suspected of carrying out cyber warfare, hacking into systems that controlled everything from power grids to financial markets. Intel suggested a critical meeting was happening at a secured compound. Our mission was simple: infiltrate, observe, extract information, get out. But something felt off. From the moment we arrived, there was a tension in the air that I couldn't explain. It was the kind of feeling that every operative learns to trust, the sense that something isn't right. We moved through the darkness, silent and undetected. I had done this 100 times before, but that night, something was different. Then, gunfire. A rapid burst of shots rang out in the still night. I didn't even have time to react. The first thing I felt was heat, a searing, burning pain tearing through my chest. Then, cold. I collapsed, my body hitting the hard, uneven ground. I tried to move, to reach for my radio, to call for help, but I couldn't. My limbs wouldn't respond. I could hear my team shouting. I could feel hands grabbing at my vest, trying to stop the bleeding. But I already knew the truth. I was dying. I left my body, and I saw everything. The moment my heart stopped beating, everything changed. At first, there was only darkness. Not the kind of darkness you experience when you close your eyes, but something much deeper, a complete void. And then, I was rising. I could still see my team, still see my body lying there. The scene played out beneath me like a slow-motion recording. The panic, the shouting, the flashing lights as the medics arrived. I saw it all, but I wasn't in my body anymore. I wasn't afraid either. In fact, I felt a sense of peace, a detachment from everything I had known. And then, before I could even begin to understand what was happening, I felt something pull me, a force, impossible to resist. A tunnel appeared before me, but it wasn't like anything I had ever seen or imagined. It wasn't just a passageway, it was alive. There was warmth, a sense of movement, and a feeling of being drawn forward. I wasn't alone. I could feel a presence that was more real, more powerful, more overwhelming than anything I had ever encountered. And at the end of the tunnel, bathed in an indescribable light, stood a figure, the presence at the end of the light. At that moment, I realized that everything I had ever believed was wrong, because I knew who he was. Even before I could see his face clearly, I felt his presence in every part of me. It was a presence that radiated love, peace, understanding, and power. It wasn't just an emotion. It was a force, something deeper than words, something that resonated with my very soul. And as I stood there, I felt everything I had ever done laid bare before him. There was no need for words. He knew me. Every thought, every action, every doubt, every moment I had chosen to deny him. And yet, there was no condemnation, only truth. And then he spoke. "You were not ready." The moment he said those words, my entire life flashed before me. Not just memories, but every choice, every action, every missed opportunity. I saw the people I had hurt. I saw the times I could have shown kindness, but chose indifference. I saw the times I had dismissed the idea of faith, mocked those who believed, and trusted only in myself. And then I saw beyond, a glimpse into what comes next. Suddenly, I wasn't just watching my past. I was seeing something far greater. I was shown a reality that was beyond anything I had ever imagined. I saw places of indescribable beauty, vibrant landscapes, light that was alive, music that wasn't just heard but felt in the deepest parts of existence. I saw people there, people I had known, people I had lost, but I also saw something else. I saw a world I did not want to see, a place where pain was real, a place where regret was overwhelming, a place where people cried out, but their voices were lost in the void. And I understood, our choices matter, not just in a philosophical sense, not just in the way we live, but in what happens after this life. And then he looked at me again, and for the first time since I had arrived, I felt something new. Urgency, because I understood what was happening. I wasn't meant to stay, not yet. And then Jesus spoke again. "Go back, warn them, coming back to life." with a new purpose. Before I could protest, before I could even begin to process what I had seen, I felt myself being pulled backward. The warmth, the light, the peace, it all vanished. And suddenly, pain. I gasped for air. I could hear shouting again, feel hands pressing against my chest. I opened my eyes to see the stunned faces of the medics, the disbelief in my team's expressions. I had been gone, and yet I was back. I remembered everything, and I knew one thing with absolute certainty. I had to tell the world what I had seen. I had to tell them that this life, our choices, our actions, our beliefs, matter more than we could ever imagine. Because I had been to the other side, and now I was back with a mission. When I opened my eyes, the world around me felt different. I had just experienced something beyond human comprehension, a reality more vivid, more real than anything on earth. And yet, here I was, lying in a hospital bed, surrounded by stunned doctors and my confused team. They had declared me clinically dead for several minutes, yet I came back. But I wasn't the same person, because I had been given a message, a mission, and I knew I had to share it. The impact of what I saw. The first few days after returning were difficult. My body was weak, but my mind, my soul, was overwhelmed. I couldn't stop replaying what I had seen. The warmth, the peace, the understanding that radiated from Jesus. It still lingered in my mind, but so did the other vision. The one I didn't want to think about. The dark place. The one where I saw people crying out, lost, disconnected from the source of love and light. I had spent my entire life believing in science, logic, and tangible proof. Now I had been shown something greater, and I realized the truth. This world is not the end. There is more beyond this life, and our choices here matter. Jesus' warning for the world. I wasn't just shown what comes after this life. I was also given a message for everyone. Jesus looked at me, his eyes filled with a love I couldn't comprehend, but also with urgency, and he spoke these words, "You were not ready." At that moment, I understood what he meant. I had lived my life as if this world was all there was. I had ignored the deeper truth, the reality of eternity. I had spent years believing that success, power, and intelligence were all that mattered. But in that instant, I knew I had been wrong. And then he told me, go back, warn them. Warn them about what? At first, I didn't understand. But then I saw something even more terrifying than what I had already witnessed. A vision of what is to come. In a single moment, I was shown something beyond my own life. I saw the world, our world, on the brink of a great shift. I saw people turning further away from truth, from love, from what truly matters. I saw division, anger, hatred consuming nations. I saw people who had once been faithful forgetting what was important, chasing only material things, ignoring the reality of the eternal. And then I saw something even worse. I saw a great darkness spreading, a darkness that was not just metaphorical, but real. It crept into the world slowly at first, unnoticed by most, and then it consumed everything. I saw people who had once been strong fall into despair. I saw truth being replaced with lies. I saw the consequences of a world that had forgotten its creator. And then, as I stood in horror, watching these things unfold, Jesus spoke one final time. Time is short, and just like that, I was back. My life after death. I spent weeks recovering, but I knew I couldn't stay silent. I had been given a second chance. Not for myself, but to deliver this message. At first, I hesitated. I knew how people would react. I was a man of reason. How could I possibly explain what had happened? How could I tell people that I had seen Jesus, that I had been shown what lies beyond? How could I tell the world that we are running out of time? But then, I remembered the look in his eyes, the urgency in his voice. Go back, warn them. And I knew what I had to do. The message for you. I am sharing my experience not to convince you, but because I have no choice. I was sent back with a purpose, to tell you that this life is not the end. Everything we do here matters. Love is the most powerful force in existence. Darkness is real, but we have a choice. Time is shorter than we think. I don't know how much longer we have. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know one thing with absolute certainty. I was dead, and now I'm back to tell you there is more beyond this life. Are you ready?